Happy Homebrew Wednesday. I haven't posted any updates in a while, so I figured I'd film a Homebrew Wednesday updates video. I do have one other clip that I may include in this video with a purchase that I made for a new wort chiller and some other beer decor updates. But for all intents and purposes, for this Homebrew Wednesday, I'm drinking my Self-Righteous Wookiee Black Rye IPA, which is now on tap. So let's do a little review. So it's been the keg for about 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks. And with the first vintage, I got 6th place in the U.S. in the 2015 or 14, I think the 2014 SJ Pour contest. I felt like the dark malts overtook the hops too quickly, like the hops faded too quickly. I was afraid that this, even though I made some tweaks to this version 2, that the same thing would happen. But in the keg, the aroma, it's still not as hop forward as I would like. Meaning that I was like Wookiee Jack from Firestone Walker has very hop, juicy, has a lot of juicy hops in the aroma and flavor, and in the aroma of this, it definitely has some nice citrusy hops. So I used like Centennial and Citra and a hop called Caliente and Chinook, which all have citrus aspects, but you can definitely smell like the rye spice and the darker malts, the Midnight Wheat and the Carafa 3 in the aroma. So I don't know, maybe in future iterations I'll figure out how to balance it out, even if I have to make it some more major tweaks, but overall it's a pretty good smelling beer, so cheers. And in the taste, it follows the aroma. Some nice rye breadiness, nice spice. I do get a good amount of citrus. I did bottle condition version 1, so the stability of the hops in this, and the more well-rounded hop character, might be from the fact that I kegged it. But for a black IPA, it's overall a really good beer in general. It's nothing bad, just I think there's room for improvement. So overall, pretty happy. And also, I tried to adjust the color by adding some, towards the end of fermentation, adding some cold steeped more Midnight Wheat because I felt it was too light, and it's still pretty brown. So it's like a brown rye IPA, but you know, it's homebrew, so it still tastes good. It still tastes good. So don't believe I mentioned this in my last Homebrew Wednesday, but I entered a New Jersey-based homebrew competition called Motown Mash, which is hosted by the, I should take one of my ribbons and read to you, the Morris Area Society of Homebrewers. That's the Morris Area Society of Homebrewers, called Mash, which there's a county in New Jersey called Morris County. That's where they're from. So I entered 4 beers. I entered my dark sour, my imperial stout, which has been aging, my English barley wine, the non-oaked one, and my quad. So the quad and the English barley wine won gold, or first place in their categories. So we got 2 of these first place ribbons. I don't know how well my camera will focus on that, but 2 of these blue ones. And then, to my surprise, the barley wine, the English barley wine, won both first place in its category, which I think was lumped together as like strong English ales, just like it was in the Homebrew Alley, New York City, and it won 2nd place Best in Show. So I got this nice longer red ribbon, which says Best of Show 2nd place, which is really cool because the other ones don't have a category on them, so it's cool to have one that says Best in Show. So as a reward for winning 2nd place Best in Show, My barley wine is going to be brewed at a New Jersey brewery called Manskirt Brewing, because the head brewer likes wearing kilts, or he likes to call them utility kilts, like kilts with a lot of pockets. So I didn't even know that was my prize at first, because I wasn't able to go to the reward ceremony because it was on a Saturday. But then I got an email from the brewer who had emailed one of the organizers of the competition, and they got to me and they asked me for he asked me for the recipe and some notes on how I brewed it and stuff like that, and then he's going to scale it up to a system, which he didn't tell me what size the system is yet, and then we're going to brew it together, so it'll be pretty awesome. So I don't have any other details on this as of today, which is November 1st when I'm filming this on Tuesday night, but yeah, I'm really happy that I won this award. Now, I don't know when I'm going to be brewing my barley wine again, but because my next beer, which I'm hoping to brew this coming weekend, is my Imperial Stout, because I want to brew it with a few tweaks and a few, especially changes to the mashing process, which I'll talk about hopefully if I end up filming brew day. It's going to be a very challenging brew day, because it's a big beer, but I'm really happy that one of my beers has continued to win awards, because first my Oak Aged Barley Wine won in 2015, then the barley wine that just won in this competition won in 2016 in February, and now in October again my English barley wine won again. So I'll definitely brew that beer again sometime soon, sometime maybe even 2017, early 2017, just so I can get it in bottles and aging for another competition. But it's not really on my radar for one of my next few brews, because I need to rebrew my Imperials. The two big beers that I want to brew are my Imperial Stout and the next vintage of my quad, just so we can get aging and be ready, somewhat ready, for my daughter's first birthday, which is in April. So, yeah. So one other note, one other update before I sign off, I'll grab my beer back so I can cheers you out, is that I'm going to be giving a presentation on brewing big beers at the Wales Homebrew Club November meeting, which is the homebrew club that I joined in New Jersey, which again the famous Bobby from New Jersey is one of the members of. I'm going to be giving a presentation on big beers there because, after winning for two of my big beers, and and also wanted to get involved in the club, I decided to, ask the officers if I could make this presentation, put it together, and do it as soon as possible, because it's a big beer brewing season in the fall and winter, and they gladly accepted my offer to do the presentation, and I've already done a lot of work on it. Even though I still have 2 more weeks to finalize all the details, but I have most of it typed up already. So what I'm going to do for that is I don't think I'm going to video it, just because it'll be in like it's a dimly lit brew pub that we meet at. But I'll try my best to remember to record the audio and post it as a podcast on my blog, along with the handout material that I've been preparing. So look forward to once that's up on the blog on a Homebrew Wednesday or another video. I'll tell you how it went, and then I'll give you the link in the description. All right, BrewTubers. So here she is, the Hydra from Jaded Brewing. Definitely mythical in stature, and hope my camera's focusing well. I still am learning it. It's my first DSLR, so we'll go up close now. And alright, so now for the close-up. As you see, it's basically 3 coils put together, coming off the main branches on the top. And then copper wiring is joining them together. So basically, when in my taller 10-gallon kettle, most, if not all, the wort at the end of the boil should be, able to be cooled at the same time, instead of the bottom half being just. And then at the top, It thickens, which I think is very impressive, to a little bit wider tubing, and you have the garden hose connections, and it's very clean, welded, like almost I think it's their sanitary welds, for the the fittings to be put on. So a very impressively built chiller, and I'm looking forward to using it when I brew next, which might not be for a few weeks because of the Jewish holiday season in October, but that's what's that. And in terms of me decorating, which I mentioned my last Homebrew Wednesday, so I've set up over here, as you can see, once I get it in focus, that I have my 2 ribbons and my celebratory Doppelbock bottle with all the trinkets, and my Dogfish Worldwide Stout bottle, which is signed by Sam Calagione, and the glass that's holding the 2 ribbons is my glass that was signed by Greg Koch from Stone. And then back here I have some of my kegging tools, a Duvel glass with some corks in it, and my temperature controllers are both over here. So the newest addition to my beer decor is that I framed a grain bag, a Munich malt grain bag, which I got originally from the brewmaster of Weyerbacher when he sent me a couple beers a few years ago. He used that as packing material, and I've kept it. And I hung it up in my old apartment just with the tack on the wall, but Michael's, the craft store, was having a 70% off custom framing sale. So it was still kind of expensive because it's the big bag, but they were able to do. I was able to pick out a good frame to kind of tie in the red on the bag, and get it framed. So now I can hang it up on this wall over here, which is still bare, but I plan on hanging it up along with my on-tap chalkboard and maybe one or both of the label collages. So happy Homebrew Wednesday. That's going on for now. Oh, and I do plan on doing some more homebrew reviews because I have had beers from BrewTubers for a while to review. That's another thing I want to do. But overall, everything's going well. Haven't gone anywhere. I'm still brewing, still trying to be as involved in the homebrewing scene here on the East Coast as much as possible, and loving it. So cheers and happy Homebrew Wednesday.